Okay, let's bring in Dr. Gershon Baskin. As we said before, Dr. Baskin knows Hamas very well and dealt with them before, most notably around the Gilad Shalit deal. Thank you very much for being with us again. It looks like the Egyptians are taking over the efforts here. What does it tell you?
Well, I think it's a very good step. I agree totally with what was just said in the studio. Egypt is much more aligned with Israel on this. I think the Americans are working much closer with the Egyptians than they are with the Qataris. Egypt sees Hamas in a similar way that Israel does. And Egypt responded essentially to what was an Israeli initiative. And this is the first time that I know of in 17 years of relations with Hamas that Israel has actually taken the first step here. And the fact that negotiations have begun, even if they haven't succeeded yet, is a good sign, because Hamas is saying that they wouldn't negotiate until the war is completely over. So the fact that the door is open, even a little bit, to negotiations is a good thing.
Now, there are two goals that Israel will not compromise on. One is releasing of all hostages, and the other one is the end of Hamas rule in Gaza. Any chance for any deal that will include both?
I think that we all understand that the war effort can wait and the hostages cannot. Right now, it seems that the major opinion within the Israeli cabinet is to move forward with the war and to let the hostages wait, and I think that needs to be reversed. We've seen too many of the hostages being declared dead or coming back dead. Every moment that they're in Gaza is a risk to their lives. We have to do more to bring them home. We can put the war on hold and continue it afterwards. Yahya Sinwar can wait for us. The hostages cannot.
Right, but I was aiming in my question to actually the Hamas response and the partners around to these negotiations. Is there any trick, any idea how to make this happen, to have Hamas removed, release hostages, and everybody declares victory?
No, I don't think that Hamas will ever agree to being removed totally. Hamas will be happy not to have the burden of governance of civil affairs duties on their backs, but they will not give up their militia, their control of their military forces. This will have to be done by force. Hamas will not be a partner to an international agreement that will remove them totally from being in power in Gaza. I know that there are other Palestinian leaders and personalities who have been talking to Hamas for quite some time, and more intensively over the last weeks, about some kind of continued role for Hamas in Gaza, in Palestine in general, in the West Bank, as well as merging into the PLO organization, but without a militia, without a military role, more as part a non-militarized political party, and Hamas is not yet a partner to that either.
So this Egyptian vision of the day after in Gaza, is it realistic at all?
No, it's not realistic yet, and I think the Egyptians are well aware of that as well. But as I said, what we have to see as positive in the Egyptian initiative, or the Egyptian steps forward, is that they've opened the door to negotiations, and Hamas has not told them, no, we will not negotiate at all. I understand that Hamas is willing to continue to negotiate. Hamas wants a better deal. I think that they are not going to agree to a 1-to-3, one hostage for 3 prisoners. They will want a lot more. They will demand a lot more. They will also demand prisoners who have killed Israelis and are serving life sentences, which will be difficult for Israel. But given the circumstances, Israel will also probably give in to that.
The Egyptians do have leverage on Hamas, though.
They do have leverage. It's the main point of life to the outside world. And the Egyptians have used that leverage in the past. I assume that they're using it now as much as they can. It's a very difficult circumstance, because it's much more difficult to communicate with Sinwar and Deif and other leaders of Hamas who are underground in their bunkers. And Hamas is living in a world with a completely different view of reality outside. Hamas put out statements about their achievements in this war with highly exaggerated figures on the number of Israelis that they've killed, on the number of Israeli tanks that they've taken out. And I don't think it's just their propaganda. I think that they actually believe what they say.
Dr. Gershon Baskin, thank you very much.
Thank you.